I want to also add that the results of the polygraph test that I have requested and was approved by the national head, I have never received any results. And since the docket was taken, they took the case docket and investigated it. No reports or no any other thing was provided. I can't even tell what is the current status of the investigation, but this team will be able to say what have they found out, what is what and what is what. So eventually, I want to say the inquiry.
Just so that your testimony is consistent with your statement, I believe you were in 116 on page 31.
116, yes, that is the...
But the name of the hotel you gave and the year were different. So can you just confirm that?
It's 2021,
yes,
Commissioner.
and it was Menlyn Main Hotel and not the one you mentioned in your testimony.
What have I said,
Capital Hotel?
The hotel here is Capital Hotel.
Which one?
It's in mainland Main,
Yes.
Capital Hotel. Maybe
That's the name of the hotel?
Yeah, I omitted to say Capital Hotel.
Okay.
We were having a interactions with the foreign law enforcement there.
And the year we have it correct is 2021.
2021. Thank you very much for the assistance. And the inquiry reference number, the inquiry reference number that of the Caesar, they also took it, this team that was established by a national office. So in relation to the investigation and progress thereof, I do not have anything to say further because I was not privy to those briefings and nobody briefed me. Commissioners, in conclusion, I want to say...
Sorry, General, before you go to your topic of conclusion, just so that it's not lost on me, the import of this evidence about the drug bust and the exhibits being lost, you've discussed it in quite detail in your statement. It's nearly 10 pages, and noticeably, it is the longest discussion you have in your statement, in your written statement, compared to the other topics.
Yes.
Why are you telling us this? Is it of what relevance, and what do you want us to keep in mind as you testify, if anything, as you testify and as we hear other witnesses? Because it's not obvious to me. I ask precisely because it's not obvious to me why you're telling us about
the theft.
About the drug bust and the theft, yes.
Commissioners, in the subpoena, this topic was there. That is why I'm responding. I'm telling the commissioners about these things. I don't know what is the relevance of this, but on the subpoena, it was listed there.
You've answered me. Thank you, General.
Yes.
You don't need to say more. Thank you.
I also want to say that the issue of the storage there bring under your attention that in relation to the storage there, I think there is a national instruction that says the DPCI, with the approval of the head, can store these things, can store the exhibits at a facility that is South African SANS, I think it's SANS, South African National Standards. When you look at the safe, it comprises of those standards, those requirements. It's a strong room. Even the walls, it's going to take you too long, a person too long, to break those walls and get into that. And what one has done, commissioners, it was done bona fide. In my conclusion, I want to...
Sorry, I didn't hear that. It was done on a?
Bona fide. In good faith.
Understood.
Thank you. I want to say it is of vital importance that we revert to the Rule 3, as the Commission will note that I have not leaked sensitive or confidential or classified information of ACPS to Mr. Madlanga. You go back to that letter that it was a bone of contention this morning, Commissioners. When you look at it, although it was a bone of contention, but it is not a classified document. classification of documents is governed by the missed document. The missed document says when you classify a document, the classifications of documents is confidential / restricted. The second one, it will be secret. It shall be written on top and at the bottom. The third one, it will be top secret. But these other things that I'm accused of, that I have leaked sensitive and classified documents to Mr. Madlanga, it is not. The things that I've shared with Mr. Madlanga, they were in a public domain. There was nothing that I took from my office and gave it to Mr. Madlanga to assist him. Most of the documents that seemed confidential were in fact sent by Mr. Madlanga, according to what I've read here. The allegations are false and are devoid of merit. They are merely speculative in nature, Commissioners. Lieutenant General Kumalo and Witness X were hard-pressed to provide evidence that proves such a leakage of information before this commission. Had the above figures conducted their investigation diligently, they would have found that the affidavits by Mr. Nangi had already been leaked in the media. It is a common cause amongst myself and multiple witnesses at the commission that the disbandment letter was leaked to the public on the 1st of January. Utilization of my office, using my position as a provincial head to unduly benefit Mr. Madlanga or the Big Five, I never used my position or influence to secure any commercial opportunities for my son through Mr. Madlanga. Abuse of power or position as the provincial head of the Deep South to influence benefit of Mr. Madlanga or the Big Five, shown an interest and questionable concern in protecting Madlanga. Of importance to note is that there is no evidence before the Commission to suggest otherwise. The baseless allegations by Witness X, Lieutenant General Kumalo, have caused a significant reputational harm on myself. They have further disrupted command cohesion and introduced unnecessary tensions within the DPCI KZN ranks. They have further caused an equal measure of harm to my son, as the allegations have caused him a significant loss of income. Currently, Commissioners, he is running a scholarship business. And then you sign contract with people, then they come and extend the contract. Some, they just come in a year. He lost a lot of kids. So now there is a problem of him paying his buses, the loans, the high purchase thing. So, Commissioners.
You said scholarship, and I hear you talk about buses.
It's Kumbi.
Did you mean scholar transport?
Yes, he's there now currently. Okay. Because what they do, if this is not working, bringing any income, they venture into a lot of things. So, Commissioners, I think we need to be protected before I conclude. I have been summoned at the head office by my current supervisor. I was provided with a notice of alleged misconduct because of the testimony by Witness X here and Witness C. And further to that, I was provided with a notice of temporary transfer. And this thing happened Friday, this past Friday, Commissioners. And that is a problem. We can't be intimidated when we are supposed to come and give evidence here, because this is it is a modus operandi, because it disoriented your mind in order to be testifying here and be to your sound and sober senses. You'll realize that although some of the witnesses never testified here, they testified at the ad hoc committee. They were visited just a week or few days before they were testifying. It is my humble prayers to you, Commissioners, We are your witnesses. Although there are allegations against us, we need to be protected here. And then I am of the view that why they never left this thing for me to testify, they can even wait for you to make a determination and deal with me. Or come and give me these things after I've testified. It is something that raised serious concerns to me, commissioners. Now I must respond this Friday. Why must I not be transferred? And in my considered view, I don't know why must I be transferred. But I have to go and I have to write a representation. So I believe that one is being treated unfair. So I wanted to bring this to your good self, commissioners. And it is not good. It is seriously not good. It's affecting one's health, or seriously so. And it is also affecting the relations in my own home and my family at large. It is a serious problem. I need to be allowed to come here and testify. If there is any wrongdoing that is found on myself, I must go and answer, must be dealt with. But I must not be intimidated before I come and testify before this commission. Because it's very disturbing. It is very disturbing, commissioners. And I also, in conclusion, want to say, I want to thank your good selves for giving me the opportunity to come here and give you my side of the story and my side of the knowledge that I'm having with these allegations and everything. And these allegations are frivolous and baseless. Commissioners, I thank you.
Thank you, General, but we are not done. As you are probably aware, what is to come next is, I don't know what adjective has been used, but the more probing questioning. So that will start after lunch. Thank you. Let us see you after lunch. Let's adjourn until 2 p.m.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Sim.
Thanks, Chair.
Yeah. Before you start with your questions, General, there's an observation that I want to make. I may be wrong altogether, and if I am, please tell me so. But I will make it until you say I'm wrong. And if you say I'm wrong, I'll actually be happy. I noticed a few times when Advocate Hassim was asking you questions, you would appear to me to be quite abrupt with her, or dismissive, or impatient. It was my observation, but as I say, I may be wrong altogether. At that point, or at that stage, the questioning was not probing at all. So I just thought, now that we are at a stage where the questioning is going to be probing, if I am correct, what I observe may become worse. I thought I should raise this right at the beginning so that if I am correct, we do not see any of that. That's my observation.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yes.
Commissioner, I was not abrupt or irritated, and I will never be irritated and be abruptly so.
Yes, yes.
I think sometimes when questions are being asked, it is an automatic thing sometimes. You do mistake, you answer quickly before, like other witnesses that the commissioner is advised, wait until the question is asked and then you can respond. I think it's just, but it's not that I did that intentionally, if that is what the commissioner said, but I wouldn't say the commissioner is wrong. It's not within my culture to tell older people you are wrong. But I want to say I do not agree.
I am happy that I'm wrong, General. Thank you very much. Thank
Commissioner.
you. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Hassim.
Thank you, Chair.
And apologies to you because I've taken you by surprise in making that observation.
Yes, I didn't expect that. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, General.
Commissioner, maybe before we go into the next session, I've got a plea to just clarify one point. During break, I had a conversation with my wife, and then I want to state it here very much clear that Mr. Matlala and my wife are not related.
Yeah.
So because I was not 100, but what was happening by then, he was dating a relative of my wife. So, but they are not related.
Okay. But the surnames are the same, but they are not related.
Correct, Commissioner.
Yeah, no, I understand that perfectly. My surname is Madlanga, as you know. And there are many Madlangas who come from Matatiele, Mount Fletcher, Stelspruit, who are Ndlela by clan. And I am a Khadebe by clan. No relation whatsoever. Thank you. I understand what you mean. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
General, I thought you were going to say you had a conversation with your wife and she confirmed the date of
Your
the
wedding.
traditional wedding.
When we do the anniversary, if I have your contact details, you will be invited. Okay, thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, General. Yes, Mr. Hassim.
Thanks, Chair. I believe that before I properly begin, we will give the General an opportunity to deal with the annexure containing the WhatsApp text from Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. So if we could begin with that. Is that in order, General?
Correct, Commissioner.
And we've already had a discussion about the names that we would not mention. And the agreement the agreement, Chair, between me and the legal representatives for General Sonona is that on page 91, in the middle paragraph, there are two names that are mentioned. Neither of those names would be mentioned when the witness testifies.
Him to both, and then the two names. So those should
Correct.
not be mentioned. Thank you.
Earlier, we had agreed with you it was just one name.
Yes,
But,
yes.
but now it's both that will not be mentioned.
All right, thank you, thank you.
Okay, over to you, General.
Thank you, Commissioners. I should rather start by saying good afternoon. Can I continue?
Yes.
I may be wrong, I don't remember ever seeing or hearing mention of the second one of those two names. But the first one, if it is the name that I'm thinking of, I wonder why it should not be mentioned.
Chair, in the context of this
Because
inter-
if it is,
Yes.
it's a name that's been bandied about countless times.
but not in connection with the second name yet. And from the context, it might connect the two names. And the request to us is to not risk that connection in public.
Not sure I understand. Just at this point, we will provisionally agree that that first name be skipped, but we want to consider this overnight and see if we will not insist that the name be mentioned.
That's in order, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Major General, do you want to begin? I take it you
But of
wish...
course, we will invite Ms. Mafisa to address us also before we make any ruling in this regard. Thank you.
So it's out of an abundance of caution, really, Chair, at this point, until we understand better. Major General Sonona, I believe you wish to read out this text, is that right?
Correct, Commissioners.
Okay, so you may do so.
Thank you, Commissioners. On page 89 of bundle of documents. Hi, General. I trust that you are well. You made arrangements that I meet this guy, Kat, because he's your friend and brother. And he needed my help to speak to Lieutenant General Kua to place orders of his contract. He volunteered information about a house. What is worse is that after you told me about the discussion between you and him regarding, there's a name there, as I also said, Nengi, I asked you about your relationship with him. I still don't know how the two of you met.
I think it was agreed that this name can be mentioned.
Correct.
So please reread that sentence. One thing I'm not sure on, because a lot has gone by or gone on. I'm not sure whether this was introduced properly as to what it is exactly, this document or this exhibit. Can
Yes.
we just introduce it properly and then you continue, General?
Well, let's start again. So the
Yes.
witness had referred to it earlier in his evidence
yeah.
and
Thing is,
attached.
now that we are here, let's just
refresh our memories.
please, yes.
And in fact, Commissioner Kumalo had asked where on the face of this document do we see the actual date, and it isn't on the face of the document. So, Major General, can you just begin by describing what this is, S4, when you received it, who sent it to you?
Can I suggest, Advocate Hassim, that he reads paragraph 65 of his statement and then give that context that you had in mind?
So repeat his earlier, that's fine with me.
65, Commissioner. Thank you, Commissioners. Consequent to the meeting above, on the 26th November 2025, I received a series of threatening WhatsApp messages from Lieutenant General Mkwanazi. The charts are attached here to as per Annexure S4. Can I continue, Commissioner?
Yes.
Hi, General. I trust you are well. You made arrangement that I meet this guy, Cat, because he is your friend, brother, and he needed my help to speak to General Kua to place orders of his contract.
On his contract.
On his contract, thank you. He volunteered an information about a house, I think, but I'll read as it is. What is worse is that after you told me about the discussion between you and him regarding Nangi, I asked you about your relationship with him. I still don't know how the two of you met to discuss about Nangi care. Besides voice recordings, cellular phone triangulation, and my vehicle tracker, including access footage, will confirm the date and time of our meeting, and for his own sake, I hope that those timelines are in line with what he said before the committee in relation to his arrest. This is the man who says he met you 7 years ago, which is contrasting to what you told me that you grew up together. The fact that he's the one who introduced our meeting to the ad hoc committee and lied under oath, he invited me to make public the information that he gave me, which will put his life at risk. I'm still going to that committee. I hope he doesn't mind me exposing him to both Mr. So-and-so and Mr. So-and-so. I hope you won't blame me for risking his life because I have to tell the truth about our meeting. If he thinks he can fool the committee, it's okay, but I will not say much but to simply play a recording of our meeting verbatim because I have the record. This one of what is worse, I think, is a repetition. Must I read it, Commissioners, on page 92? The first paragraph.
The first paragraph, I think you may have put this in the wrong order.
Yeah.
These messages.
Yeah, there is that.
Can I confirm that this was one message that you received?
Yeah, look, the messages, they came like this. Spontaneously, one after another. It's not a one straight off message. It's like you send a message, after some seconds or a minute, another one comes, after some few time, another one comes. Like that. It's not one message that was typed once off.
Do you have it on your phone?
Yeah, yes.
Would you prefer to read it off your phone exactly as it came to you?
On my phone as it came.
Yes.
It was there, it's deleted. There is this thing that was activated, delete messages over 24 hours from the phone of the general.
Okay, so you don't have it anymore.
So this is what we did screenshots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask then that you continue to read it, but don't read the duplicated paragraphs?
Okay, thank you. He volunteered an information.
Ms. Hassim, General, Ms. Hassim,
Yes.
if you look at page 92, it is a repeat of what, it seems to be a repeat of what should have been on the first page. So the first paragraph in page 89 is the same as the first paragraph in page 92. Are you there, General?
Correct, Commissioner.
So page 89, and then look at 92. And then the second paragraph in 89, which reads, he volunteered an information about a house, and then it stops there, it cuts. If you go to 92, it looks like that is the complete paragraph.
Correct, Commissioner.
And then you've got the third paragraph, which we don't see. So the order, yeah, Ms.
So,
Hassim, if you could
Can I
just keep
propose
that in mind.
a way forward?
Yeah.
Leave 89, I think. That's because there's a duplication. Can you read from yes, you made arrangements, I meet this guy. So page 92, can you read that whole page? And after that, you'll see on page 91, if you flip the page back, okay, you'll see that it starts, so the last paragraph on 92 starts the fact that, and the first paragraph on 91 starts the fact that, so you can omit that and continue with I am still going to.
Okay. I don't understand what commissioners, where must I exactly read?
Okay, I think you need to begin on page 92. If you follow the order,
Yes.
right, if you put these side by side, I think you filed it incorrectly, in the wrong order, the pages. So if you start on page 92.
I must start on page 92.
Yes, because it's the beginning of the message. You see on page
And
89
on
it says, "Hi General, I trust you well. You made arrangements that I meet this guy Cat."
Page?
89.
Oh,
You see how it reads? "Hi General, I trust you are well. You
Yes.
made arrangements." Okay. Now go to 92.
okay. I'm there.
Okay. And you see it begins with "you made arrangements that I meet this guy
Yes.
Cat." Okay. So, but in 89 it cuts off at the bottom, whereas it doesn't cut off on page 92.
Yes. I
Right.
see.
So if you read the whole of page 92 to begin with.
So if I read you well, is that in page 89 at the bottom, it start with he volunteered. And then
May
on
I-
page 92,
Sorry, Ms. Hassim, General, may I make a suggestion? May I suggest that we skip this? And then that an attempt, unless it's very crucial for where you start with your questions.
No,
If
no.
it is not, let's perhaps skip it and then try to see, Ms. Mafisa, if this cannot be arranged in a manner that flows.
Chairperson, we do actually have the screenshots in the correct order. So perhaps maybe my attorney can just give Major General Sonona, just show Major General Sonona the screenshots, and then he can read it in the order as it had appeared on WhatsApp. Is that okay with the commissioners?
That's in order.
Thank you.
That's in order.
okay.
You have it now, General.
I have it, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. You made arrangement that I meet this guy, Cat, because he is your friend and brother, and he needed my help to speak to Lieutenant General Kua to place orders of his contract. He volunteered an information about a house address in Santin where Mr. So-and-so collect money using the state vehicle, and that he paid 2 million towards Mr. So-and-so's purchase of his plot. He also told me about Mr. So-and-so townhouse.
Sorry to interrupt you. But we hadn't agreed that this name would be redacted in this paragraph. The explanation provided to me for redacting it from the other paragraph is because of the connection, to the second name.
Yeah.
So we haven't agreed that this name, and I don't see any reason why it should be redacted. It's crucial evidence for this commission.
Any comment, Ms. Mafisa, especially if the reason for redacting it earlier was to avoid making a... But then, once you mention it, then everybody knows that it's the same name that we skipped. So
Correct, Chairperson.
perhaps until we've...
Because I've already explained it.
Yeah.
We'll take a short adjournment. But perhaps before that, let me hear what Ms. Mafisa thinks.
Well, Chairperson, I don't know if I can say much because I don't want to give anything away regarding the specific individuals that we do not want to mention. But I think perhaps maybe what I can make clear to the commissioners is the risk to certain people's lives in disclosing these two names in particular. And I would like to also just state that there's a link between these two people. So if we were to mention one person, the other would automatically know that they are being referred to. Perhaps maybe I can illustrate it in this manner, Chairperson. If I were perhaps maybe to report someone and I would say that I'm going to report the person to Commissioner Khumalo and someone else, one would quickly deduce that they might also be reporting to you, Chairperson, or to the other commissioner. The link is, I don't want to give too much away, but the link is there, the relationship is there. And the knowledge that the other would have is, it's too big of a risk for us to take, to mention the names.
May I respond?
Thank you, Ms. Mafisa.
In fact, Chair, this makes it even more important that we consider this carefully, because what Ms. Mafisa has just said is vital evidence for this commission. She's confirmed the connection between those two names, something that is a subject of inquiry in this commission. So that's quite important for us. That's the first thing I want to say. And I would imagine there'd be more to come then, evidence-wise, from this witness to show that link. But apart from that, nothing from the face of this text, if you mention the first name, connects to the second name. I don't think it's the equivalent of referring to a commission of inquiry where there's a panel of three, and if you mention one, it's another. I don't think it's analogous to what is here. If you mention the first name and leave out the second, there's no way a link can be made to the second, unless you have knowledge that we don't have. But yeah, there's no objective manner in which one would put these two names together. This first name is linked to many people. It could be anybody.
Commissioners, if I may, I think what my senior has just said is quite relevant as well to the reason why we don't want to mention both of the names. Whether it's one name or both of them, we don't want to mention it is because of the knowledge that we do have. And perhaps maybe we are just taking additional or extra steps just to make sure that we do not have a situation where certain people's lives are at risk. But with the information that we do have, we can confirm that if we were to mention one of these names, the other would know. I can further elaborate, Commissioners. Perhaps maybe I can just come closer to you and I'll be
perhaps
able
Ms.
to...
Mafisa, just explain this about the other knowing. Just explain the relevance of that.
Yes. So when you have a look at that particular paragraph, what General Mkonazi is doing is he's saying that he's going to report. He's going to report to these two individuals. And I think when you look at it from that particular context, that's the most important thing, that I wouldn't say it's a reporting to your principal, but essentially the relationship with the link is somewhat of, it would be like reporting to your principal, essentially. So if you...
Maybe let me ask it this way. What's the fear if that other person does get to know? What's likely to happen? What's that person going to do once they get to know of the mention of the other person? I don't get it exactly.
Sure. All right, Commissioner. So unfortunately, we do know that this person is quite... I must just watch my own words now, but this person is quite dangerous. And so just the mentioning of this particular person's name could put Major General Sonona in quite a tight spot, just in terms of his safety. I think perhaps also we're considering, it's Witness D, whose life was unfortunately taken. So we are just a little bit wary of mentioning this particular individual, exposing him in these proceedings. It truly is a security risk.
And if, for the purposes of General Sinona's testimony, all he is doing is to read a WhatsApp text not crafted by him, but a WhatsApp text received from General Mkonazi, why should that threaten him? Why should that pose a risk to him?
It would definitely threaten him, Chairperson, because I'm sure the relevant people wouldn't have preferred for him to actually even disclose the screenshot. But because he wants to assist the Commission, he disclosed the screenshot. But just for purposes of his safety, we just thought that those two individuals together, they should not be mentioned. So it was to assist the Commission, but I don't think that we must put Major General Sonona's life at risk.
We'll adjourn and we'll indicate when we are ready to come back.
Thank you, Chair.
General, my understanding is that an agreement reached between the parties in a discussion, of course, that took place before us, commissioners, is that you must please reread from the paragraph that says, I'm still going to that committee, and I hope he doesn't. You see that?
Yes, Commissioner.
Yes. And then when you get to the names, you mention the first name. And you'll see how you refer to the other name, and maybe you say, and Mr. So-and-so, whatever. And then when you go on and come to the first name again, you mention it throughout. And your attorney came to you and said, you understand and you are fine with that.
I do understand, Commissioner. That is correct. He did come and tell.
Thank you very much, General. So please start rereading and read from this paragraph. I am still going to that committee.
Thank you, Commissioners. I am still going to that committee, and I hope he doesn't mind me exposing him to both Sibia and Mr. Sorenso. Maybe I'd rather say Mr. Y.
Whatever you choose, General.
I like Sorenso.
It's fine, it's fine.
Sorry, Chair. I'm confused now because when the General first started reading, I think, can you start from the beginning of the text? Because I think now we've missed a paragraph.
Right from the beginning. It's fine, it's fine. I guess I was avoiding that because it would be the third time now, but it's fine,
But it's an important paragraph which has now been missed.
No, so. I'm happy, Mr. Singh. Thank you.
Thanks. You start from the beginning of the text. So as I understand it, what you have says, "Hi, General, I trust you are well." That's how it starts. You made arrangements that start from there and go all the way to the end.
Thank you, Commissioners. Hi, General, I trust that you are well. You made arrangements that I meet this guy, Cat, because he is your friend and brother, and he needed my help to speak to General Kua to place orders on his contract. He volunteered an information about a house, address in Sandton, where Sibia collects money using the state vehicle, and that he paid 2 million towards Sibia's purchase of his plot. He also told me about Sibia's townhouse. The fact that he's the one who introduced our meeting at the ad hoc committee and lied under oath, he invited me to make public the information that he gave me, which will put his life at risk. I'm still going to that committee, and I hope he doesn't mind me exposing him to both Sibia and Mr. Sorenso. I hope you won't blame me for risking his life because I have to tell the truth about our meeting. If he thinks he can fool the committee, it's okay, but I will not say much, but to simply play a recording of our meeting verbatim because I have the record. What is worse is that after you told me about the discussion between you and him regarding Nengi, I asked you about your relationship with him. I still don't know how the two of you met to discuss about Nangi care. Besides voice recordings, cellular phones and triangulation and my vehicle tracker, including access footage, will confirm the date and time of our meeting, and for his own sake, I hope that those timelines are in line with what he said before the committee in relation to his arrest. This man says he met you 7 years ago which is contradicting what you told me that you grew up together. I guess this will become clear as the investigation continues. That concludes the messages, Commissioners.
Thank you. Ms. Hassim, because we've been going on this way and that on this, I must apologize to you. I thought the bit about the payment of the 2 million and so on, I thought it was still to come. So
Okay.
apologies
No
for
problem,
my
Chair.
confusion in that regard. Yes, yes, Ms. Hassim?
So, thank you.
Ms. Hassim, will we get the correct
Yes, I've requested
transcript
that.
of that?
And Mr. Beloy,
Okay, thank you.
no relation to Commissioner Beloy, is, that we know of, has undertaken to provide that to the Commission. At the end of this message, Major General, there's a TikTok video. What is the content of that?
I didn't open that. You know, this message is commissioners. They came as some sort of intimidating to me. What I did, I just screenshot them and sent them to my attorney. Because for me, this was unbecoming. Why must I get these messages? For what? So I sent them to my attorneys that this is the messages I'm getting because I've already contracted them or request their legal assistance with regard to me appearing at the commission. Whatever comes my way that is talking to the issues of the commission, I must communicate with them. I must also say that my attorneys wrote a letter requesting the alleged recording in these messages. The letter, there was an acknowledgement of the letter, but the recordings never reached us till today. And these recordings that are said of that meeting, we have not yet received them till this day.
Thanks, but that meeting is the meeting that you were present at, so you know what happened in that meeting.
Come again?
The recording is a recording of a meeting at which you were present. Isn't that so?
As I have indicated in my statement, I was present.
Yes. Okay, so I also just need some clarity about whether, so you received this, did you respond to Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi?
I didn't.
You did not reply?
I didn't. I just forwarded this to my attorneys.
And you had no further contact telephonically or otherwise with him?
With who?
With Lieutenant General
General.
Mkhwanazi, yeah.
No, we never spoke after this.
You spoke at the same time there, just say, with Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. I'm just thinking of the transcription. Yeah.
Advise me, Commissioner.
I'm saying you spoke at the same time with Advocate Hassim, and you spoke over her when she was mentioning with Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. I just wanted to mention the name because the transcription will not show it if you spoke at the same time.
Yes, with the Lieutenant General. Thank you, Commissioner.
Now, I would like to understand from you why you considered this to be intimidation of you. And I ask you because one interpretation of this is that General Mkhwanazi sent you this to say, and judging from the text, is that you made the arrangements for him to meet Kat Matlala. In that meeting, he volunteered information about General Sibia and others. And now that he is the one that's introduced this meeting, but not given the full story, it means that General Mkhwanazi is going to go to the ad hoc committee and give the full story, and that he's letting you know this. And he's saying to you that when he does so, that may put your friend, Kat Matlala, at risk because it exposes him because he's given information right? That he's informed on people, right? So I'm putting to you that that's an interpretation of this. Why do you see that as an intimidation of you?
Commissioners, I believe it's the first time the commissioners get to know about this meeting, because of this commission get to know about this meeting from me to you. And these messages came to me before I come here. And then when you get this type of messages, one get an insinuating situation that don't talk about this. As you are analyzing, the advocate is analyzing and giving a perspective of her analysis on these commissioners. For me, it came because I'm supposed to go and testify. And then Mr. Matlala spoke about this at the ad hoc committee. And then when you get this type of messages, what does it say to one? That be careful. Don't talk about this. I'm going to that committee. It was never talked about the, And you must remember, commissioners, I took an oath this morning to tell the truth. You said to me, tell the truth, nothing else but the truth. That is the feeling that I've got when I received this thing. And I'm here to come and tell the truth and assist the commission to deliver its objectives.
But you would agree that there's nothing in the text in where he says to you, do not go and testify about this meeting?
I agree that is not there, but the sense of this message is that I have received it with. It gives me an impression that be careful. So that's the feeling I had when I got this message. That is why immediately thereafter, I sent it to my attorneys. And I have never responded to him because you'll see other messages were deleted by him that he sent to me. And I don't know the content of that. It leaves a lot to be desired for. What was actually in that messages that were deleted by him, not by this, by the general, not by this app of disappearing messages after 24 hours. But the general himself deleted these messages that he sent to me. And I strongly believe that this message also was talking to the same issue because it is after Mr. Madala has testified at the ad hoc committee. It shaken me. I wish somebody was there to see how I was feeling. But I was rattling when I get these messages.
General, there's a part that I don't understand about what you've just said now. You said your reading of this message is that you must be careful. Careful about what?
That is what came into my mind, Commissioner, that, hey, you be careful. You know, what came into my mind is careful about anything. We are members of the police, and I think as we move on, you will realize that also these things that are happening to me, these letters that I'm getting that I've indicated earlier, after my attorneys have sent this letter and we didn't receive anything, and the general didn't talk about this in this forum, commission, it ignites fear in one. And when you look at this, I was supposed to testify on the 26th. I was here. From here, I went out. My lawyers, we get these things, we send, they write me a letter and everything. All of a sudden, if I was supposed to be issued with a letter of transfer and everything, it should have happened last year. Now that we wrote a letter, these messages came, I sent them to my attorney, they sent a letter with these attachments to him to give us the recordings. Then I received this thing. You see what is happening now, commissioners.
Then you received what thing?
I received a notice of temporary transfer and a notice of alleged misconduct regarding the allegations that were made against me before this commission.
And so you're saying that General Mkhwanazi is behind that letter of transfer?
I've never said that, commissioners. I'm telling you the events that are unfolding after these things. And that, it gives me a serious problem.
I'll come back to
Would-
that. Can I, sorry, finish?
It gives me a serious problem that why? Because I did check with my supervisor that, are you saying everybody who was mentioned at the commission is subjected to what I am subjected to? And the answer was no. It depends from one supervisor to another. Thank you, commissioners. This thing is making me emotional because I sometimes take it's become personal, not the commission, but what is happening around me. And on a serious note, I don't like it. And I don't want it at all. And hence, earlier before we break for lunch, I requested for protection from the commission, if they can, so that I must not be subjected to these kind of things. If I have to be subjected, let it happen at the right time or earlier. I must not be ambushed. Thank you, commissioners.
Major General, when did you receive this letter again? It was
Friday the 23rd.
this,
sorry.
this text, November last year.
26th of November.
2025.
Yeah, the very same date.
Yes.
Sorry
Okay.
for interjecting.
But
Please,
just
bear with-
answer the question. 26 November 2025.
Correct.
Okay. And the letter of transfer you received this last Friday.
You mean the text, ne? Can I take you back a little bit? You mean, when did I receive the text?
You said you
This
received
message.
this message. This
Support to him has nothing to do with your duties as head of the Hawks. I want to suggest that to you. That's one. And then two, I think, and this is the important part for me, I want to suggest to you that you did not correct what you say are factually inaccuracies or untruths, in fact, in this statement, because in fact they're true. That's what happened. You arranged the meeting, so that's why you don't correct it on 3 occasions. You have 3 opportunities. You don't correct that. 2, the Nengi discussion. You have 3 opportunities to say to him, I never discussed, and to say to the commission, I never discussed with him Nengi, any discussions about Nengi and Matala. You have 3 opportunities. You don't correct it. And the same with, you never told him that you grew up with Mr. Matala. You have 3 opportunities to do that. And my suggestion to you is you don't correct it because it is true. It's what happened. In your discussion in that meeting with General Mkhwanazi, all of that happened. Do you have any comment to it?
Commissioner, I stick to my comments, and the recordings, if they come, they will prevail. The
Thank
truth
you.
shall prevail.
Thank you, General.
From me, General. When General Mkhwanazi wrote this WhatsApp to you, he made it clear to you that he will be going to that committee, meaning he will be going to the ad hoc committee. So you must have known, reading this WhatsApp, that General Mkhwanazi intends to go to the ad hoc committee to say these things. So my question to you is, did you, in your instructions to the attorneys, instruct them to tell General Mkhwanazi that what is contained in this WhatsApp is not true? And if he were to repeat its contents to the ad hoc committee, he would be lying to the ad hoc committee.
When I discussed this matter with my attorneys, I told them that I confirmed the issue of the meeting, that I was in attendance. I informed my attorneys that, for me, I've never arranged this meeting. Number 3, in that when he says he's going to play it there, the legal advice was that, no, we will also request the recordings, of which it makes me very happy and comfortable. And then what was the other part of the question, Commissioner?
The simple point is that you did not say to your attorneys, when you write to General Mkhwanazi, tell him that the content of his WhatsApp is incorrect. What he says in the WhatsApp is simply not true.
I didn't dictate or gave that instruction to them how to write that letter to him, Commissioner. So that is what happened.
I will leave it there for now.
Thank you.
The commissioners have opened up the area of questioning I was going to go to, and I think we should probably just continue on this topic instead of leaving it now.
I do apologize.
Coming back later. They are ungovernable, these commissioners. I think that, Major General, that there's more that you are withholding from the Commission. And I say this because if you look at paragraph 64 of your statement, let me know when you're there. You're there?
Yes.
Okay, you say actually, let me start from the very beginning of that 64. You say you were not privy to all that was discussed as you were moving between the living area and the kitchen. Okay? And then you say, this is what you know. 1, 2, 3. These are the topics that you know were discussed in the meeting. The first is that General Mkhwanazi agreed to assist Mr. Matlala to get purchase orders. The second is that General Mkhwanazi spoke on General Nkua's alleged corruption and the rumors of her owning properties beyond her affordability. And the third, so this is the sum total of what happened in the meeting according to you, is that General Mkhwanazi offered to hold or pause investigations against Mr. Matlala for the alleged attempted murder in exchange for information on General Sibiya. In this text message from General Mkhwanazi to you, it's clear that other things were discussed in this meeting. For example, the information that was provided by Mr. Matlala. And in the text he says he volunteered information about a house address in Sandton where Sibiya collects money using the state vehicle, and he paid 2 million rand towards Sibiya's purchase of his plot. He also told me about Sibiya's townhouse. Why is it you do not mention that in your statement?
Commissioners, first thing first, Mr. Matlala requested me to accompany him to the meeting with General Mkhwanazi. And as I've indicated, you read my paragraph, I was up and down there. And I was moving up and down. I said I might have not picked up all the discussions. And further to that, I was busy as well, consuming my liquor there. Some of the things I didn't happen to hear them.
Because you were in the kitchen.
I was moving up and down.
So can you describe this apartment? Is the kitchen a separate room? Is it a big apartment, a small apartment?
Open plan.
It's a relatively medium. When you come in, there's a TV and some couches. And then you move backwards. There is I can't remember because I didn't work, but there is something at the backwards. And then from here, if you are sitting there at row 2, row 2, and then here, you come in like this, and then is a kitchen with the kitchen units and everything. So I was moving from there, coming here mixing whatever I was drinking, it's the whiskey, of course, and then taking my glass, going back, sitting there, consuming while they are talking. When it's done, my glass, I'll go back and fill it, because I was offered. I see here I also omitted to say it in my statement that I was offered whiskey, but I was offered whiskey. Some of the things I won't recall. It's not that it is by intention. I'm not withholding any information for the commission. If I wanted to withhold information from the commission, even these messages you wouldn't have got. So I'm withholding nothing. I'm here to come and assist the commission to deliver its mandate.
So the kitchen, I'm just trying to understand the layout, because it sounds like an open plan layout. The kitchen isn't a separate closed room. You can see the kitchen from the living room, is that correct?
You can see it, but you can't see it when you go deeper. You won't see, but you can see there is the kitchen.
Is it open plan?
Some sort of, but not 100%. Open plan, the way I understand it, from my perspective, commissioners, is that from here where I'm sitting, let's say this space, it's your lounge, né? And then maybe 2 meters, and then just like this, then is the kitchen. That for me is an open plan. But when you're sitting here, you have to turn a little bit. Another person might call it an open plan. Another person like me, I would say it's not a fully open plan. The way we see it, the way we describe it, it will never be the same. But that's how I see it.
And do you say if you go into the kitchen, you can't hear what's happening?
The TV,
in the living
I think
room?
there was a TV that was on, and they were talking. They were not shouting. What I've heard, I've assisted the commission with
sure.
what I heard.
Let's-
So some of the things that I didn't hear, I'm not going to speculate, commissioners, and say, I think I heard, I think this and this and this. Because the issue on this meeting, on this WhatsApp, if the recording was here, it would have also reminded me of some of the things.
So you say that you went into the kitchen. It's somewhat open, but not completely.
Correct.
To the what you call the living room. And what were you going to the kitchen to do? You say to pour yourself a whiskey.
Correct, Commissioner.
And how long did it take you to pour whiskey?
I didn't make a timing. I will stand up, go to the kitchen, open the fridge, look for ice, put the ice in the glass, take the whiskey, put it there, look for a mix, then put the mix, taste if the glass is to that level that suits me, and then I go back.
How many times did you do this?
I don't have any recollection how many times, commissioners.
So there's a conversation going on about General Sibiya that seems quite detailed here. It's about a house, there's an address in Sandton collecting money using a state vehicle, there's the 2 million rand issue, there's the townhouse issue. Throughout the entire discussion of that, you were absent. Is that what you are saying to the commission?
I don't have a recollection. I'm not saying I was absent. I was in that house, but I don't have recollection of that, commissioners.
I have a view that I'd like you to comment on, and that is that you deliberately withheld this information about Sibiya, and that's partly backed up for me by your reluctance today to mention General Sibiya's name in relation to this text message that General Mpunazi sent you. You did not want to mention this part of the text that mentions General Sibiya. What's your response to that?
What is the actual question? I missed it because it's too long. You're saying?
That you withheld the information, that you were aware that this was mentioned, all these things about General Sibiya, but you wanted to withhold it from the commission, and that's also why you didn't want to mention General Sibiya's name today in the Commission?
Commissioners, you shall have recorded or observed when I was talking about the Port Shepstone theft of the cocaine from Port Shepstone. It was very thorough. The reason is that when I visited the crime scene, I made notes, I compiled information notes to head office, and there were statements and everything there. Here, that didn't happen in this meeting. So I think it is a common cause that as a human being, there are things that you will forget, there are things that you won't hear, but on a serious note, I am not withholding any information. And the issue of General Sevilla, my legal team was talking to the Commission in relation to the issue of security. But now I was advised I must do it. I did it at the advice because I was advised to say that. Now, these messages were sent to me, and I sent them to my attorneys, who requested the recordings from the General, and the General didn't provide us with the recordings. I will never withhold information. If I recalled, I would have deposited it here or talked about it in this commission.
Okay, your short answer is you didn't remember. That's why you didn't. That's your response.
Correct.
And the other thing that General Mkunazi mentions in this text is a conversation regarding one Mr. Nangi, but you don't include that in your paragraph 64 either. Why is that?
I have already responded when the Commissioner was asking me that question.
I don't believe that question was asked, why you didn't refer to Nangi in your statement when it was mentioned here by General Mkunazi.
Commissioner said this message, you never disputed, you're disputing them, but you never you never said it in your affidavit. You were here, you never said it. That is one of the first questions that the Commissioner asked me, and I responded.
What was your response? Because I think we are at cross purposes on this.
The issue of discussion between Mr. Madlanga and myself regarding Nangi. This is the message that the Commissioner was telling me about. Then I said no.
I'm asking you why you didn't mention the discussion of Nangi that took place at the meeting of 15 April.
My answer...
Let me just say, because
okay.
the text says, you told me about your discussion between you and Madlanga. I'm not asking you about that. I'm asking you about a discussion about Mr. Nangi at the meeting of 15 April. Because he's talking about this in the context of the meeting of 15 April. He mentions Nangi. You don't mention that as a topic that was discussed. Why?
I think I've already indicated some of these things I forgot, I didn't hear them, and then I believe that if I can't recollect any of some of the facts, I can't be pushed to say, now I remember.
Okay. So you don't remember that either? You might have been again in the kitchen.
Yes, correct.
Okay, and you do... But so you don't deny that that conversation took place? Because you don't remember?
What are you saying, Advocate?
You can't deny that there was a conversation about Mr. Nangi in this meeting on 15 April, right?
I can't, but apparently, as I'm saying, I was moving up and down, they must have discussed it, not me.
Okay.
The General and Mr. Madlanga might have discussed it, but when they talk about it, I didn't hear it. But I don't deny that it must have been a discussion there between the two. Because when you read also, okay, let me leave that.
Okay. So you have explained the kitchen and all of that. Now, why is it that Mr. Matlala wanted you to accompany him in this meeting?
He has already indicated in one of the things you gave us here, the transcripts, that he wanted me to accompany him because he believed that when he met with the general, he wanted to have that comfort of talking whatever he wanted to talk there.
Yes, so I'm not asking you what Mr. Matlala said to the ad hoc committee. I'm asking what was your conversation with Mr. Matlala? What did he say to you?
It is what he said in the ad hoc, and you gave us the transcripts. They are there.
Yes, I understand that. General, please answer the question that I'm asking you, which is not about the ad hoc committee. I'm asking about your interaction with Mr. Matlala. He asked you to come to a meeting, to accompany him to a meeting on 15 April.
Yes.
And you say, what? What did he do? When did he call you? What did he say? That's what I'm asking you.
I think we were talking on the 14th, and then he said, I want you to accompany me to a meeting that was arranged by General Tele between me and General Mkwanazi. And then he indicated he doesn't know General Mkwanazi, but he will feel comfortable for me to come there. And again, the general also, because I'm working with him, maybe he might also feel comfortable for me if I'm there, and then they can have discussions. I didn't refuse because I didn't see any wrong thing about that.
You knew that this meeting was to facilitate assistance for Mr. Matlala with his contractual problems with the SAPS, isn't that so?
I knew that it was regarding the purchase orders.
Right.
Because I asked, what is it the meeting all about? It was regarding the purchase orders.
Mm. And you didn't see any problem with that?
Correct.
You didn't see any problem with assisting a service provider to the SAPS who's having difficulties with their contract to facilitate or smooth the way? You had no problem with that as a very senior law enforcement officer responsible for organized crime, including, as you told us, one of the national priority crimes is government fraud.
I didn't see it as a problem accompanying a brother, a younger brother, to a meeting that I was not a full participant there. They were talking. The first time we were talking general things, and then from there they started to interacting their things. Greeting each other, how are you, where are you from, those general things, and then from there they came to discuss these things. I happened to hear what I've listed here. The ones that I've not listed, I've not heard about the discussions, because I don't see any problem in me taking him there. Because also, I was not privy to any information in that Mr. Matlala is a subject of investigation of whatever cases he has been arrested and charged for.
Well, we'll come back to that because you did know by then. Because as you told the Commission earlier, at the very least on the 5th of March, you had major concerns, such serious concerns that you began to exercise caution, you said, in respect of Mr. Matlala. Yet you accompany him to this meeting to help smooth the way with his contractual problems in the SAPS.
The concerns was regarding the exchange of the directorship of the company. Yeah, not that there is an investigation. It is an article that was in the newspaper, and then over and above that, yes, I agree, I testified. I had that concerns that culminated in me trying to start to reverse from our relationship. And further to that, I also had in that meeting that there was this case, attempted murder case that is being investigated against him while the general was telling him. Those are the ones that, this is the investigation I heard about, but the one for changing the directorship, I don't know whether there was investigation or what. It concerned me.
Well, I think it would probably help to go to that article, because there was a lot in that article and it was beyond even these contractual issues. But let me finish this and we'll come back to that. You knew, you still had concerns. We know that you had concerns. You said you were exercising caution. You go to a meeting. You know that this is a discussion, the plan. This is what the meeting is for. And then you say that the meeting, what took place in the meeting, was an exchange between General Mkhwanazi and a service provider on how to fix the problem. You give me this and I will get you some more purchase orders. That's what you say in your statement,
Well,
right?
Can I be assisted that you give me this, I'll give you purchase orders? Can I be assisted? Which paragraph
Yes.
is that, Commissioners?
You say that Mkhwanazi agreed to assist Mr. Matlala, right? To get the purchase orders. You say that he spoke about General Nkua's alleged corruption. So that he's sharing information now about, as you call it, the end user, right? And then you say that he offered to put on hold investigations that were currently underway against Mr. Matlala, right? You are sitting in this meeting, at least for the part of it that you are sober and not in the kitchen. You know that this is the discussion that's happening. Did it not strike you as something that is of serious concern and should not be taking place?
You know, Commissioners, the first question that you indicated that help me about this and this and this, I'll ensure you get orders. I've never talked about that. I must indicate I didn't talk about that here, even in my statement. But these others, yes, I did highlight them in my statement. Your question is the issue of concerns. I've never had any concerns upon these discussions. You know, when the general was talking to him, my understanding or my take on that time was that the general was talking maybe under general, and then the actual actions that he was supposed to take, I don't know. But for me, it didn't matter.
Sorry, General, when, and this is in your statement, when General Mkhwanazi says, according to you, when he offers to pause investigations against Ms. Matlala for the alleged attempted murder of Tebogo Tobejane in exchange for information on Lieutenant General Sibia, you say that doesn't concern you. This part we know you had, that's why it's in your statement. And you say as head of DPCI, KZN, that's not anything that concerns you.
Commissioners, at some stages when we deal with this type of issues, I believed later that General Mkhwanazi might have information that he knows, and then he wanted further information. I believe he might have come there to do certain interrogation and talk certain things, because I was not aware, about this case. So when you do the interview or interrogation, you need information. You say other things that might not necessarily mean in order for you to extract information. I believed that because as an investigator, we do have other tactics that we utilize to extract information from people.
No, General. This is not an interrogation. You are there to assist Mr. Matlala to get his contract honored by SAPS. That's why you are there. You go there. You know why he's going there. It's to get assistance, to get his purchase orders put through so he can make money. You know that. So you go there. It's not an official meeting. You're not there in an official capacity, because if you are, then there's a further serious problem about that meeting. You're not there in your official capacity. You are there as Mr. Matlala's friend/brother. That's why you're there. You listen in an informal discussion to a commissioner who says, I will use my influence to pause investigation on a serious matter of an alleged murder, attempted murder, if you give me information about General Sibia, and you say that is not a matter that causes you concern in that meeting, in that informal meeting which is about the contract.
My presence there was to accompany Mr. Matlala. That is correct. But not to facilitate him to receive the purchase orders. The meeting was facilitated by General Cele. So eventually, this was discussed. As I'm saying, sometimes this is what people can tell you, that this is what will happen, whereas they don't mean it.
So you thought General Mkwanazi doesn't mean it? Is that what you thought there and then?
Because he wanted information about General
So you
Sibia.
thought General Mkwanazi doesn't mean it with this
I thought
offer?
so
is
at that stage.
my question.
Yes.
Then why do you mention it in this statement? If you thought he just said it
But this
without
what-
meaning it.
This is what was this. I'm telling the commissioners what happened in that meeting. It's not that I'm saying it, even if I thought he never meant it. But this is what happened there,
Okay.
commissioners. So I wouldn't want to say, even if I have a negative thought of something, then I decide to leave it. I don't know which information, commissioners, is going to assist this commission. But I gave everything that I know and that I can really recollect to assist the commission.
Okay, so just so that I'm clear about your answer, you saying to us now that as you sat in that apartment and General Mkwanazi said to Mr. Matala, I will hold the investigation if you give me information. As you sat in that apartment, you did not think that General Mkwanazi meant it. Is that what you're saying to us?
Correct, commissioners, because eventually on the day when he was arrested, he was charged for the very same case, and then he was processed for the very same case. This is the case where he was arrested.
Okay, so the part that's missing in your statement on this paragraph 64.3, the unwritten part or the missing part is, I did not believe that General Mkwanazi meant it. Is that, if I added that, that would be a complete, in the light of what you're saying?
Correct, commissioner.
All right, thank you. And by the way, this meeting, how long was it?
I think almost an hour or so.
It was
Sorry, did you say about an hour?
An hour or so.
And you say that General Mkwanazi agreed to assist Mr. Matlala to get purchase orders from General Nkua. That didn't trouble you too much?
No, if the purchase orders are not coming, if somebody says, I will assist, the assistance is from where I'm sitting. It can be, there is this contract, there's no purchase orders, is there a problem or whatever. Not necessarily to give somebody an instruction, but that go there to give this person this. Because in this meeting, there was no even promises of, if you do this, I will pay you or I will give this. There was nothing of that nature. But on this one, I didn't have a problem.
You didn't have a problem with
Yes.
assistance to the service provider, your friend, to getting purchase orders from General Nkua. Do you know General Nkua?
I know she's now the acting Deputy National Commissioner, Support Services.
But you didn't know at the time who she was?
Yes, I knew at the
You
time.
knew?
Yes, correct.
And did you have any reason to think that maybe she had a concern that was a legitimate concern
Any
regarding
reason?
the contract? Did you have any reason to think that she had a legitimate concern with the contract, and that's why she wasn't placing more purchase orders.
I won't know, I don't know.
You had never heard of her and the contract?
This thing of, I won't know, commissioners.
This is in April 2025. You had not heard of any concern raised by General Nkua about the contract and the issue of purchase orders?
I will have to check on these messages if there was something like that. But I know there was a message, a screenshot of some sort that Mr. Matala sent to me regarding payments. I remember that one.
Right.
Because the WhatsApp messages assisted me to recall, and I was reading through that. And then that thing, I know that again he had a problem with the payments as well as the orders. That is what he told me, Mr. Matlala. I was aware of that. But the issue of the problem with the actual contract, that one, I only saw when I see that media clip that raised concern on me regarding him when he changed the directorship.
That's the only time you became aware
As
of
far
any
as I can-
concern. So, okay, so you're saying, yes?
As far as I can recollect, but I will have to check the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's quite important. I also want to know, why do you think, in your position as the provincial head of the Hawks, responsible for preventing and combating priority crimes, you didn't advise Mr. Matlala differently to say, if you have a problem, go through proper channels?
Look, the meeting was never arranged by me. It was arranged by General Kele. And then I believe if you expected of me to tell him to say go through proper channels, even the general who was there as the senior to me would have done that, but he didn't do that. So that is why I didn't see a problem in that. Maybe he was going to come up with that or not, I don't know, and I don't know.
So because your colleague provincial commissioner didn't say anything, you thought, therefore, you don't need to either. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, remember the assistance was directed to General Kwanazi. And then he must not be exonerated that he didn't do this. If he deemed it fit, he should have said, these are the procedures, follow them.
General Mkunazi will have to give an explanation for this. I'm asking you because this was your meeting that you were present at, you participated. Before you went into this meeting, you said to us, before you went into the meeting, you knew what it was about.
Let me correct you, it's not my meeting. I was invited. So what I'm telling you the truth, and I'm telling you what was in my mind by then, and I don't want to come here and change it. I can't chip and change things as they are happening, Commissioner.
You accepted the invitation knowing what the purpose of the meeting is.
Correct, Commissioner, but it was not my meeting.
No, I understand that. You were invited. You did not organize the meeting. But in accepting the invitation, you knew what the purpose of the meeting was. You knew where you were going and for what purpose you were going there.
I knew it was regarding the purchase orders, yes.
So you knew that your friend, who's a business person doing business with SAPS, wanted to go see a SAPS commissioner to ask for favors relating to the same contract.
I hear what you are saying, Commissioner.
No, it's a yes or no. You knew or you did not know.
I knew that they were going to talk about the orders. Yes.
Going to ask for favors relating to the same contract.
He was going to ask for the issuing of the purchase orders.
But General Mkhwanazi cannot issue purchase orders. They are issued in Pretoria.
I agree with you, but why did they refer Mr. Matala to General Mkhwanazi? I don't know, Commissioner. Angas.
Advocate has it.
Thanks. Now, I think that I would like to go to the WhatsApp messages directly and a video clip.
So the same WhatsApp
On the
message.
same, it's a WhatsApp messages between General Sinona and Kat Matala on this issue.
Okay.
I know. I wanted to. Chair, may I be given a short and I know that we're running close to time, but I'd like to at least close off on this before we break.
All right, Ms. Asim, yes.
Thank you kindly. If I could please ask that we go to 6 February. And that would be file 1 of 3 of the exhibit bundle.
And that's marked what, Ms. Asim?
It's marked file 1 of 3.
No, I have the file.
The page 15.
50. 15?
15.
15. Here.
15. And you'll see, General, if you look down on that page, towards the bottom, on 6 February, Mr. Matlala sends you a video attachment.
Yes, Commissioner.
Okay. So if we could just play that video attachment, please. There should be a link. How long will it take? Chair, I wonder if we can't adjourn for a few minutes.
How long is the clip, and how long are you going to be
The clip is
engaging with it?
The clip is about, it'll probably be about 15 seconds or so, the clip itself, or 30 seconds at most.
And your engagement?
5 minutes.
Will adjourn.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Mr. Sim.
Thank you, Chair. So this is a video clip that Mr. Madlanga sent to you, Major General, on the 6th of February, 2025. And if we could just play that, please.
Are ready to take the keys to the college on the 4th. So by Monday, if we're able to see anything, we close. We'll rather send members that are short, and that process of the non-performance by the service provider, that process I already directed that it must start. So
Were you able to hear that, Chair?
Not quite.
Can you play it, slow down the speed?
Also, the volume not as high also, if that's possible.
are ready to take the keys to the college on the 4th. So by Monday, if we're able to see anything, we close. We'll rather send members that are short, and that process of the non-performance by the service provider, that process I already directed that it must start. So
Okay. That video clip you've seen before, isn't that so?
I see he did send it to me.
Yes.
Perhaps, sorry, Mr. Sim, it might be helpful for purpose of the record to try and
transcribe.
say it out, yeah, to say it out what is in there.
The last sentence of the person speaking was, I have directed that that process of non-performance of the service provider must start.
Let's confirm with General Snona that that's what he also
Did you hear
hears
that?
or heard.
Me hearing this, it's a difficult, commissioners, but if the evident leader say this is what it was said, I'm comfortable with it.
Okay. So, Mr. Madlanga sends you this video clip. You knew that was General Nkua. What did you make of that clip when you received it?
First thing first, I don't know why Mr. Madlanga sent it to me. You'll realize after he sent it to me, there's no response, but my make of it, I didn't know which service providers are talking about here. Because if I hear some of the things there, I think when you say the process of non-performance of service providers, the last one, Commissioner. So for me, there's no clarity here which service provider they're talking about.
Okay.
But he did send it to me, but I didn't know what service providers, which one for which work that must be done. But I heard if we run people that are short, it's still fine. And that I heard it people if they are short. And the non-performance, as you advised me, at the last lines of service providers, non-performance of service providers. I can't make an informed explanation of what is it that to make about this.
So he sent that to you, but you didn't have a discussion with him about it?
No, this one.
No. He shares his problems, you told us in your statement. He shares his struggles and his problems with you.
Absolutely true.
And he sent you this, but you had no conversation about it.
His problems when he started to tell me, I want to check on this WhatsApp messages regarding this. I strongly believe it's far beyond this clip when he told me about this. But the only thing I know is the payment before this clip. The delay of payment that he told me about, commissioners. But regarding this, he sent me this clip. I don't know. I couldn't make it up anything around this because even if it can be replayed for me to just get a sense of this, what you call,
so
what was the person talking there actually saying, and then maybe if they would have talked about the very same, the service provider, they have disclosed the identity of the service provider, it will help, or it will make things better for me. But at this stage, I didn't make it up anything about it, and we never talked and discussed this thing.
You mean at that stage, at 6 February, you didn't make anything
We never discussed the issue of the non-performance of his contract and everything.
Okay, I hear that, but that's not my question. My question is, on 6 February, you didn't make anything of this because you didn't understand what it was about,
Absolutely.
the video clip.
Yeah, absolutely true. I didn't make anything.
You
of
couldn't.
it.
You
I
didn't. You listened to it.
It's something that went like a blink, and then I just ignore it.
You just ignored it.
Yeah, I just listened to it, and then I left it because I didn't make it anything of significant about this clip.
You didn't think there was anything of significance that a service provider had access to a recording, an internal meeting discussion on a contract within the SAPS. You didn't think that was significant?
Yes, because remember, I don't know who was attending this meeting, who was there, whether maybe also Mr. Matala was there or his representative, I won't know. Me, I won't know. If I knew, maybe I would have a different thought, but I do not know.
And you didn't think to ask Mr. Matlala, how did you come to be in possession of an internal discussion with the screenshot you saw was of a computer with SAPS contractual information on it, finance information, correct?
You want me to respond?
Yes.
I didn't ask him, and
No,
I didn't...
No, hold on. Let me start first. You saw that the picture on the video was of a computer screen depicting internal information, SAPS information. You saw that. Isn't that so?
I saw this.
Right. And when you saw that, you didn't ask him how did he come to be in possession of that internal information, that recording?
I did not, because I don't know who were the attendees of this meeting. Maybe one of his people was in attendance of this meeting or not. I won't know. I don't want to come and mushroom answers and say, no, I did know, I asked him. I've never even discussed this thing with him.
You didn't?
Thereafter.
And it didn't concern you that this information was being shared with the service provider? You were not concerned?
If it was shared with him or he was a participant there, he got it from there. I didn't ask and start to dig and check where did you get it. As I've indicated, it is also evident in these WhatsApp things that I've never interacted with him after he sent me this thing.
Well, that's actually not at all evident from the WhatsApps, and we will continue with that as we continue our questioning, because you continue to meet Mr. Matlala, and you don't tell us what you discussed at those meetings and whether this is something that you discussed in the meeting.
We never discussed this in the meeting, commissioners. Our meetings was of a sexual nature. When I talk to my brother, we talk general things, life things. We interact on general things and things that might are on the public domain and so forth. You know, we don't, but we have never discussed this thing. This thing is bothering me. Apologies. This thing, I happen to know when he asked me to know the details, when he asked me to accompany him to the meeting for the orders. When we were talking on the 14th of April. So that is that. I don't have any answer for the commissioners, but the answers that I've gave is the answers that I have for you. But other than that, I don't have another one.
General, it's very difficult to accept that you would receive a video clip like that, which has SAPS information and branding, that you wouldn't ask Mr. Matlala, what is this about? Why are you sending me this video clip? and what is the conversation about, it's very difficult to accept that.
I
And
understand.
yeah, it's just difficult, and maybe you need to rethink your answers because it doesn't look good. It looks, this I didn't ask when he sent you what you say is a random clip, which we know from later interaction that in fact you become involved in his meeting about the same subject matter later. You attend a meeting with General Mkwana. So we know from your evidence, or the evidence that's before us now, that you do become somewhat involved with your explanation of how you become involved. And then there's a clip that is sent to you which deals with that subject matter, and you say to us, well, I didn't know what it was about, but importantly, I didn't ask him, why are you sending me this random clip? I am struggling with accepting the truthfulness of your answer.
I hear what the commissioner is saying, but I still say I didn't. I don't want to rethink my answers or whatever, but I want to give the commissioners what I know and what I can stand for, because this one we didn't. The issue of the meeting is this is 6 February, the meeting is around April. I've never even picked it up that at that time he sent me this thing and this thing is happening. I've never picked it up that and connected the dots by then, but now that the advocate here is saying to me, this isn't related to that one, I see that this thing, the way it is, it talks about service providers who are unable to deliver, I think, something like that. But from the onset, I'm saying, I just read it and then I didn't make it an issue and so forth, even though the commissioner is struggling to accept my explanation. But that is the explanation I can give.
Yeah, well, because here's what I see, General. Mr. Matlala would have to really be a madman to send you a clip that has no context for you. You have absolutely no idea, you've never discussed this with him, and then he sends you this clip without explanation, there's further no discussion with you, there's no request for clarification. He just sends it, and he leaves it to you to make of it what you will. Now, I started off by saying he would really have to be a madman, and I say that to say it's improbable that you had no idea what this clip is about. You had a context to it, that's why he sent it to you. It's simply not correct what you are representing to us, that you knew nothing about it and you let it be.
Commissioner, I agree, send it to me. I concede that he did send this thing to me. Over and above that, I still stand by my explanation that I didn't made up anything about this video. I don't have any better answer, but this is the best I am giving to the commissioner.
Thank you, General.
I put it to you, Major General, that it's actually much worse than that. That is bad enough, but it's even worse because Mr. Matlala sends you this video clip comfortably, knowing that he need not fear any consequence of sharing this kind of information with you, because you wouldn't report it to anyone, even though he should not be in possession of it. He felt safe that you would not question how he came to be in possession of that video clip. What do you say to that?
I don't know how he felt, but he just sent it to me, and I didn't make it up what exactly this thing is. Why did he send it to me and so forth? And I didn't even ask him, as I indicated earlier. But he himself, if you are saying he felt comfortable to send it to me, that one I don't know. But he just sent it to me.
He was right to feel comfortable because indeed you did nothing. with it. A video clip in which there's an internal screen, Medicare 24, payment, purchase contract information, and it's obviously a recording of a meeting, an internal meeting. And he knew that you wouldn't raise that. And did you ask anyone within SAPS or say to report to say there's a leak? There's someone in your finance department or in supply chain management, there's a leak. Because you quoted to me the Constitution and your duties under the Constitution. Would that not be in line with your duties? To contact supply chain management or the finance department, whoever the relevant department, and say, you've got a leak.
I didn't do that.
That's not the question. That's not the question, General. The question is whether, based on what you yourself said about SAPS's duties and obligations under the Constitution, you were not obliged to, at the very least, contact people within the finance department of SAPS or the SCM, Supply Chain Management section of SAPS, and ask, are you aware that there is a leak? Who is guilty of having leaked this information? That's the question.
I didn't do that, Commissioner.
No, the question isn't whether you did it or not. The question is this not your obligation? Weren't you obliged to do it? That's the question.
As the commissioners are putting it to me now, I might say maybe it's an hindsight on myself.
Was it an obligation, General? The very obligation that you referred us to this morning, and you were even quoting a section from the Constitution in terms of what SAPS's obligations are in terms of that section. Did you not have that obligation?
At that moment, Commissioner, I know it is an obligation on me. At that moment, it never crossed my mind to deal with it in that fashion. And I accept the mistake I did because it never crossed my mind.
Did you not at the very least consider this to be a serious matter? Let's leave aside that it did not occur to you to report or approach anybody. This is about taking action with regard to the question of non-performance in respect of a contract. And that's something which concerned internal SAPS discussions.
As I'm indicating, Commissioner, it never crossed my mind at that stage. I know I'm obligated, but it never. And I didn't do it, Commissioner.
All right, now in retrospect, do you think that it was a serious matter?
Now?
Yes?
Now that I'm informed by the Commission.
No, leave aside what you are being informed. Do you not think that this is a serious matter as you sit there now? And let me again take you back to what both Commissioner Baloyi and Advocate Hasim took you through. This is internal information about discussions within SAPS. There's even a SAPS logo. And it's about action that should be taken in respect of non-performance of a contract. As you sit there, my question is, do you not consider that this video clip concerned a serious issue as you sit there now?
As I sit now, I do consider, Commissioner.
And you only realize that now?
Yes, Commissioner.
And if I suggest to you that that cannot be, what do you say?
It is now, Commissioner.
Yes, Ms. Hassan.
Chair.
Yes. Yes, Ms. Mafisa?
Thank you, Chairperson. I just didn't want to interrupt the leading of evidence or your questioning, Chairperson. However, I would like to state that this particular video has not been given to the legal team, and it also has not been given to Major General Sonona. So the line of questioning, I do think it's rather unfair to Major General Sonona. We are unsure whether there was indeed an SAP as branding on the video. We're not quite sure who the speaker is in the video either. And I do think that Major General Sonona should have been given an opportunity to consult with his legal team regarding this video. As we have done and as has been provided to us, the annexures SEN1 to SEN7. So I do think that this video should have been provided to us. And if there's other video clips that will be used tomorrow, I simply request that we receive these video clips so that we can consult with the Major General.
Yes.
Chair, sorry, but that's an untenable submission.
Ms. Mafisa, just to clarify, we as commissioners are not aware of what was shared or what was not shared. And with regard to the branding, I relied purely on what was said as part of the questioning. And I do not, and in fact, I think I did actually preface one of my questions on what was put to General Sonona by Ms. Hassim. And I just whispered now to my colleague whether she too referred to that, and she said she did. But maybe, I do not know, she too relied on what Advocate Hassim had said. But I'll invite her, Advocate Hassim, to respond.
Chair, this video is part of the exchange between General Sonona and Kat Matlala. It's his own information, it's his own phone, it's his own WhatsApp chats. He says he's seen it. He's already given evidence about that video attachment. And so there was there are a number of attachments here. You just need to click on it to play it. And if the team or the general didn't remind himself of what's the contents of these WhatsApp chats, that's for them to take responsibility for. And not to suggest that there was some unfairness on behalf of, on the side of the Commission and the provision of the evidence.
Did I hear you to say that? What exactly do you say the general referred to in his evidence, in the context of the video clip?
You mean in earlier evidence?
Just now you referred to the general's evidence.
Now in the context of the question.
Yes. That's exactly what I want to understand. What exactly are you saying the general touched on in his evidence? Are you saying he touched on something that referred to the clip, or what exactly are you saying in that regard?
Yeah, well, he acknowledged the clip. He acknowledged receiving it, seeing it, dismissing it. And that questioning then proceeded from there. So this is not new to the witness. This is a clip that was shared with the witness by Mr. Matlala. I'll also say that at the end of last year, when there were discussions between the evidence leaders and the witness's legal team, they assured the Commission that they had everything that they needed in their possession. So if for some reason there were some attachments or information that they didn't have access to, they could have alerted us to that.
And when was this, for example, let me just refer to this, the file 1 of the exhibits file, when was that shared?
File 1 of the exhibits was shared this week. But this particular exhibit, these chats, were shared with the witness last year. This very same page 15 was shared with the witness and his legal team last year. We just compiled it differently in this exhibit bundle for the purposes of today's questioning.
Ms. Mafisa, we just want to get a full idea of the inner and outer contours of what you would like to see. And maybe after that we will adjourn and possibly come back and make a ruling.
Thank you, Chairperson. I would just like to touch on, perhaps maybe I'd just like to move backward prior to answering the Chairperson's question. So on
and maybe when we are dealing with that, also touch on the point that Ms. Hassan made, which is that these exhibits were actually shared, and that the only, I don't even want to say issue, but the only matter perhaps is how they have now been packaged, but that they were shared last year already. So when you tell us the inner and outer contours of what you want to see, please touch on that as well.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you, Commissioners. On the 26th of November, we did come to an agreement that we are satisfied with everything, all the evidence that the Commission has given to us. However, I would like to make it quite clear that if you have a look at the chats, this particular video is not included as an annexure. So, sorry, Chairperson, let me just move the mic a bit closer. But this particular video is not included as an annexure. So when we came to that agreement that we are satisfied and we are happy with all the information that has been provided to us, we simply looked at the witness statements and the annexures to the WhatsApp chats, which is SCN1 to SCN7. We can confirm that we did receive SCN1 to SCN7. However, I do think, and I hate to use the same words over and over, but I do think it's quite unfair to pose a question to the legal team to say that the link was provided to us, or rather it was packaged in another way because the link was not provided to us. Even if we look at the exhibit bundle that we have today before us, this particular video is not within the exhibit bundle. So that agreement, I should make it very clear that we came to that agreement thinking that the only annexures that exist within this WhatsApp chat is SCN1 to SCN7. This is not one of those annexures. If we knew that this particular video would perhaps maybe then have been used in Major General Sonona's testimony, then we would have 100% then raised an issue and said, but this particular video has not been included. Even now with Major General Sonona's testimony, witness C's evidence has not been included in his testimony. So there's various things that we are, as a legal team, we are unsure whether they're going to be used, whether they're not going to be used. So in good faith, we agreed that we have received every single thing that will be used for Major General Sonona's testimony.
Oh, God. We are here now. What would you like to see, Ms. Mafisa?
Chairperson, I think it's still a little bit difficult.
Bearing in mind that the substance of your point is about fairness and unfairness.
Correct.
So what would you like to see?
Chairperson, perhaps maybe I should just put it within the hands of the evidence leader. If there are videos that have not been flagged as an annexure, such as SCN1 to SCN7, then and the evidence leader intends to use it within the testimony, then can we please receive it? All we want to do is to look at the evidence that will be presented from the Commission's side and have an opportunity to consult with Major General Sonona based upon that.
As I said, do you wish to respond? As I said at the beginning, we would adjourn, consider the matter and come back, because we don't want to make a ruling only tomorrow morning, because that might delay us if in the end we say that the video, all videos must be shared, because then the legal representatives and the general may need time to consider those, which may delay us. So I think it's best, whichever way we go in the end, I think it's best for us to adjourn, as I indicated. We might have to. Do you wish to respond to Ms. Mafisa?
Yeah, I mean, again, Chair, this is the General's own WhatsApp exchanges. This isn't something, and it wasn't an annexure, it was embedded in his WhatsApp exchanges. If there's information that the legal team feels they didn't have, that they don't have access to, they can't read properly, they can't hear properly, they should have told us that. They never alerted us to anything. They never said, look, there's a video attachment, there's a video clip that you've included in your information to us, but we can't play it. They've never said that. So, I think it's a very belated objection. The question is, as you say, Chair, what do they want going forward? And I suppose the question is, am I going to rely on any other video clips that are part of the WhatsApp annexures and to provide that to the legal team? But I'd have to just check again my notes to see. I don't think they are.
May I just find this out? If, for example, I were to send this document as is, but I send it electronically, no amount of clicking on there would make anything open. So in what format was this sent to the other side? Was it sent in a format that ordinarily, when you click on it, the video clip would open?
So, Chair, I can't answer that because there's a format that I have where you click on it and it opens.
Okay.
And there might have been a format where you click on it and it doesn't open.
Yeah.
But we were never told that it's not openable from
That's just a matter of
side.
detail. I just wanted to be clear of the facts. Maybe we've reached that point where we should adjourn, but I'll just listen to my colleague. We have decided not to adjourn. And Ms. Hassim, please provide Ms. Mafisa with a video clip. And I ask the two sides to engage in discussions, and if there are other materials which may also need to be shared, I request that between the two of you, you have those discussions and see what needs to be shared. And it should then be shared overnight, so that tomorrow we are not delayed by something similar.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Your 5 minutes is long up. You said you would engage for only 5 minutes on the video.
Thank you for indulging me, Chair.
No problem at all. But I do not think, of course, this means the end on the debate around the video clip. We adjourn now. We'll adjourn until 9:30 tomorrow.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.